This excerpt gives many a bass player a nightmare. And I'm really paying attention to where he is in the bow right here. Right by the frog. Look at that. Hear that? Oh! Okay, so I mean, that's like a masterclass right there. What's going on? It's Jason Heath, and I was hanging out a few nights ago watching YouTube, as you do, and this wonderful video popped up. It was a live stream from Bass Works in Maryland, and it featured Tracy Rowell, who I have had on the channel before, and Derek Zadinsky, who is a bassist in the Cleveland Orchestra and also teaches at the Oberlin Conservatory and the Cleveland Institute of Music. And Derek was a student of Hal Robinson. And there was this great video of Hal Robinson from back in the day. There was Hal just playing through a lot of the standard orchestral repertoire. And as I was watching this video of Derek, which is him going through and picking the 10 most requested orchestra excerpts, it just occurred to me this is kind of like a modern day version of this Hal video. So I decided to take all those excerpts that Derek played, put them into a PDF. I'm going to go through that here. You can download it in the description below if you want to follow along and play along. And I'm just going to share my thoughts and reactions to some truly outstanding orchestral bass playing. Ooh, nice slur. Makes it more connected than what's in the part. Another up bow that no one does. Switching over to the D string. Nice. These fun little and he's got that great connection, expressiveness. He's not forcing the sound. You'll notice here is just how big of contrast Derek gets in style. So here we are, romantic composer Verdi, and then just watch as his playing changes from this to Mozart to Strauss to all the other composers. There's that little moment again. Pacing is key here. It's so cool to have the piano there as well. I love the direction in his line here, how you can hear the dynamics so clearly. Derek gets this into the string sound that I find so compelling. It's something I've noticed in a lot of people that studied with Hal Robinson. There's this really into the string quality that I love. Bring out the chromaticism. And here's a great example of you're hearing what the piano is playing. If you can hear that in your mind playing the double right here, I think, or at least for me, it totally changes the way that I conceive this excerpt. So it's another one of the many reasons why you really want to learn the whole piece, even if you're just playing an excerpt, certainly, but also like what specifically is going on during these excerpts. Give it a little bit more of a three-dimensional feel. over-dotting feel. So stylistically snappy. So just knowing to do that, that's part of understanding how this music all fits together. Disguising the shifts, but still maintaining a legato, that is deceptively challenging to do well, like Derek does. Very reasonable audition tempo. Feels upbeat without being frantic. That's advice that I got. Whatever you think the goal tempo is, think a couple notches down, because you'd rather play it, it'll actually sound faster if you play it a bit more moderately, but really clean. I can hear every pitch. You can get this sort of like, and if you actually played that to a violinist, they would probably say like, I don't have any idea what pitches you're playing. So Derek's got this great crisp articulation that's coming through. You know, it's forte for a lot of this. So he's not playing like super duper light, but he is playing in a really, with a lot of air in the sound, but with enough length that the pitches are coming through nice and clean and clear. When you're looking at things like this that are asked on auditions, why are they being asked? They're usually demonstrating a whole bunch of different things. And so this excerpt, if you just look, it's got this fast, zippy playing, lots of string crossings, and then all of a sudden this very legato piano playing again all over the bass, lots of room for things not to go well intonationally, and then this crescendo that builds up. So this is a great display of control through a variety of styles. And so one thing I love is Derek, to get that piano, he slowed his bow speed down quite a bit, or it looked like that to me. So I love that opening and how he manages to balance cleanliness and clarity, power, but still you can't overplay. So even though it is fortissimo, you play too loud, and how are you going to get those forzatos to come out, and how are you going to do that while still staying clean? And that's, again, the great example of kind of walking that tightrope right here Derek's doing. You can hear what the piano's doing, what the orchestra would be doing, and how your line fits in. Making down bows and up bows sound the same? Not easy. He's giving the low G enough length so that it comes through. And you notice where he is close to the frog like that, having the control to play this. It is a forte excerpt, but it's Mozart, so you don't want to play it like Brahms. Yeah, right there, the bowing. Not too short, so we can hear the pitches, but with a little bit of stick bounce. Doing something with all those A's. Something totally different. And now you can hear how into the string he is. You can actually hear that note ring out in the hall. So we're going from Mozart to Mahler, quite a contrast. Hear that? Oh! Yeah. I can hear the section of 9 bass players, 10 bass players. And now when he's getting softer, he's still keeping this intensity, this like into the stringiness. You can hear the piano. The basses and cellos are the ones creating the rhythm. There's nothing except texture behind it at this point. I love how those fortes come out. And when they do have crescendos and don't. My old teacher, Michael Hovnanian from the Chicago Symphony, he said that he started to do well at orchestra auditions when he really honestly started to do what was on the page. So you can just hear Derek, and if you look in this packet, or if you can see it on YouTube here, he's really doing what's on the page. It's pianissimo, and then there's a forte piano. Not a crescendo to it, not a sforzando, but a forte piano. Then there's a crescendo to an accent, but a hat type of accent. You know, maybe not a more traditional looking accent. And all these little things, can you execute it so that if someone just had a sheet of staff paper, could they just take dictation of what you're doing, the notes you're playing, but also what dynamic are you? Are there dots? Are there lines? Are there accents? What type of accents? Is it sforzando? And Michael told me when he started to really just try to do that, which seems kind of simple, I'm basically just saying, play what's on the page, that's when he started to do well in auditions. And the care Derek takes at the ends of phrases, the control he has in his vibrato, it's fantastic. Making these long phrases with this intensity. Yeah. Yes! I remember Ed Barker saying about this Mozart first movement that there's like almost everything you ever wanted to know about a player in an orchestral context you could obtain from this movement. I might be misquoting him a little bit, but something along those lines. Yeah, so if we just take the amount of details that one must think about and that could go well or not so well right here. What do you have to do? Okay, well, we've got 2 D octaves, so are those in tune? Does the first bar sound like the second bar? Does the second bar sound weaker because you're probably going to be doing it up bow? Does the 16th note really fit in rhythmically? So can you just play this in rhythm? Surprisingly challenging to do. That trill, how well is that executed? How does it sound muddy? Does it sound clean? So many details in this excerpt. But it's Mozart, so he's not forcing, pushing the dynamic. Sounds so effortless when he does it. I can't tell you how many hours I've worked on those 16th notes to get them to sound effortless like that. And mine don't sound like that. That bar. Oh! The work that goes into playing with this kind of ease in the final product. Amazing. Usually the audition committee would skip these, but it's cool to hear it with the piano because they don't want to hear 80 bass players play a bunch of E's, but you should know, or my suggestion is you should know what's happening here between the excerpts. Those slurs are traditional. This excerpt gives many a bass player a nightmare. Is that the same tempo? That's something I've asked myself many times. Should be, not always for me. Does this sound like a desperate chicken or with class and ease like Derek? Such a contrast. Beautiful. Okay, so let's just take those bars. I can't help myself. So we just look at letter E. Okay, so we are forte. We are a little bit held back in tempo traditionally. So we have dot, then dot on 16th, then accent, right? Then sforzando on the A sharp. Bum, ba-dum, bum, ba-da. Accent again. Then not sforzando on the next A sharp, right? Quarter notes with dots, and then accent, another sforzando, all these little deals. So can you make it sound like if someone was going to try to write down exactly what you did, could you play in a way that they could do that? And that is a tall order for sure, for me at least. Real difference in the fortissimo. It comes back in dynamics. You can just tell he knows this music so well. Upper half. Then to get in a good spot for this, the bow. Cool fingering. Keeps very covered, playing up the strings of that. Listen to spiccato. Brahms spiccato. More of this kind of saucer shape. And so we've heard Mozart spiccato, and then we've got Brahms spiccato, and now you're going to hear some Beethoven spiccato coming up here. I love hearing how people interpret this opening. Learn a lot about a player. Yes. And just understanding what's happening in the piece here. We could do a whole video about that. You'll generally skip the C sharp in the audition here. But you want to know that this is here and understand this is a quote from the first movement, the opening. Larry Hurst, former Indiana University bass professor talking to me about that. That fantastic sound. Let's play the cello part. How do you treat the ends of these phrases? It's a quote from the third movement. That was the second movement, the bump, 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 bump. Then sneak in and just understanding how this fits in context. That vibrato, that control. That's a quote from What's to Come in the fourth movement. And understanding that pickup. We don't always play the theme, but Derek's going to for the audition. He's picking a very nice, almost up-tempo. That crescendo and coming back down. Again. Now, can you hear even when the piano's not playing, can you hear that counter line? Dynamic contrast. It's awesome. And he plays perhaps a bit longer than you might. Or maybe they do this for Cleveland auditions. But it really shows a lot about how well you know this piece. The whole orchestra is just continuing to come in. Now we have this wonderful big tutti in the orchestra. Oh, sorry, not yet. Restate the theme, the phrase rather. Listen to his articulation. Just signature Beethoven approach. It's a very muscular approach. That's how people refer to Beethoven's articulation often. The rhythm, you just feel Derek right locked in. Yeah, so cool. And now he played letter M, which is a workout, as you will see. It's wild. Again, he makes it look, what I find very much not easy, look quite easy. Now I'm really paying attention to where he is in the bow right here. Right by the frog. Look at that. Even though it's fortissimo, he's still phrasing. The harmonies. That bow placement helps a lot, being right by the frog like that. He's using muscle, but he's able to relax as he's playing. It looks like anyway. Yeah, wow. I am wiped when I play that. You don't realize how naked you feel until you actually do this with an orchestra here. So many interpretive possibilities here. So do you understand your role as a bass player here? Makes such a difference in how you played an audition. Fortissimo, or sforzatos rather. Back. Continuity, intonation, pacing. The way it is so beautiful. Now. Can't tell you how long I've practiced to get that A flat and many other bass players. He makes it seem easy. Down. Yeah. Okay, so I mean, that's like a masterclass right there. Just listen to Derek play that. There is direction, there's clarity, there's weight. It's just so well executed. The weight of that pickup is something worth studying. The way he's doing it. See people's heads going like this in the audience. Now, do you understand what's going on here? The way you play this. Your understanding will affect even these G's. Here, one level, but still control. You love to hate it or hate to love it or some combination of that. Nothing like number 9 from Heldenleben. And I just listen to the way the weight with which he plays this. Yet another style. Strauss now. You can hear that strident tone. It's like a French horn section. Totally different character. Dotting, very brass-like. Now, are you hearing all this when you're playing these B-flat trills? Listen to that piano line. Yeah. Yeah. Woo! That's such a good idea. The contrast from Bach, the orchestral suite number 2, to what he's doing here in Heldenleben and everything in between is just the colors he gets, the characters, the ease with which he, and again, this is not easy stuff, folks. Derek, you rock, my friend. Bravo, folks. Definitely check out Derek online. William thinks you rock too. And I've got his page on the Cleveland Institute and Oberlin, and then the Cleveland Orchestra sites, all linked up to. I've got this original video linked up to, all the IMSLP links for these pieces, and you can download this PDF that I was following on with if you just want the excerpts. Thank you so much for watching.